everyone. Welcome to the second episode of the Breaking Out of the Business Model Box podcast series. I'm your host, Stephenie Zamora, and as I've said before, I am so excited to be bringing this series to you. We have a lot of great interviews to follow. If you haven't, go ahead and watch the first episode, which is all about how to tune into your intuition to really break out of the box when it comes to your industry or your offerings or who you want to serve. Now, this episode, we're going to be talking about what it actually means to break out of the box and how we actually do that. A lot of us, when we get started, we immediately go to who's most successful in my industry and how can I model them almost identically. And modeling is a really powerful tool when it comes to trying on different business models or offerings and seeing what works for you. I'm not talking about copying. Copying is not okay. Copying is taking the content and the exact words and the information and the processes that someone else has created and using them for yourself, whereas modeling is looking at the framework of another business and inserting your own personality and your own words and your own ideas inside of that. Now, again, modeling has its place. Modeling can be really important for a lot of different business model types. But when we want to create something that's as unique as we are, that's really, truly fulfilling and that pulls together our passions and our skills and our personality in a really fun and unique way, we have to break out of the box. So again, our go-to when we start a business is to look at who's already successful at what I'm doing. And I definitely did that when I first started my business. So I looked at other coaches. I looked at other people in the personal development world. I was also part of a year-long mastermind, and I really, really modeled what those people were doing. I looked at, they have coaching packages. I should structure them this way. I should price them that way. When I started launching my program, I should do it this way. And I really leaned too heavily on this is what's working for someone else, and this must be how I get to success. And an important first step is defining what success looks like for you. So inside of your passion-based business, we obviously talk a lot about passion. And passions can be anything from how we want to serve in the world to the things that we like to do on our free time. So a lot of my clients love to be outside. They love rock climbing. They love just piddling around in their garden. They love going for walks or hiking or traveling. So success doesn't necessarily just mean an X-figure business, so a 6 or 7-figure business. And yes, money is awesome, and you're definitely going to learn how to do that, especially if you're signed up for your passion-based business or you're working with me. But that's not all that it's about. So it's really about crafting a lifestyle. And inside of crafting a lifestyle, we have to look at if this is the life that I want to live, and if this is my unique personality, if I'm an introvert or I love people, I like speaking, I don't, I prefer to write, I like video, all of that has to be taken into account when we look at how am I building my business? What is my business model? How am I structuring my offerings? And we can't do that if we're modeling someone else. So what worked for someone else might not, usually won't work for us. And in my situation, I was modeling people who just really loved people and being out in the world. They were extroverted. They had a lot of energy for it. They loved to speak. They loved to make videos. And I wasn't there yet. So this is my first real foray into making long videos where I'm talking at you for a significant to me period of time. I am just getting out in the world doing speaking and workshops. But when I started my business, that wasn't aligned for me. That did not feel good. It was very uncomfortable. But I thought in order to be successful, I had to do it the way they were doing it. And the reason that it worked for them, again, it took in their unique personality and preferences and audience. It also took into account that they had been doing the work a lot longer than I had. So they really had their footing inside of what their messaging was, how they like to deliver it. All of those things come with time and practice and intention. And again, going back to the first episode, the more rooted we are in ourselves and our intuition and what's aligned for us, the more quickly we're able to create something that's really fulfilling and really successful on our terms. So we can't just look to whoever is the big name in our industry and we can't just model them. That's not going to work for us the way that it worked for them. And for a lot of people, as I've found, you can model and you will see a certain level of traction and success. So you would the reason that they use those things is because it worked for them and they got traction. And there are a lot of strategies and tactics inside of marketing and branding and content creation that do work. but they did it in a way that was right for them. And a lot of times with really successful entrepreneurs that we like to follow, what worked for them 2 to 3 years before we're even learning about it. And the landscape is constantly changing. So a big part of breaking out of the business model box, a big part of creating a passion-based business and being successful in the ways that are important to you is knowing when and how to pivot. We can't pivot if we're modeling. We can't be truly in tune with what's working and what's not if we're only focused on what someone else has done and trying to fit ourselves inside that box. So again, watching the first video around intuition is really, really important for the rest of the series. Now, in order to break out of the business model box, the first thing that I like to recommend is that we explore all the many possibilities of how we can create and serve in the world. Especially as coaches, a lot of people that I work with are coaches, so we'll go with that to start. They feel like there's only certain things they can do. They can create ebooks, they can coach one-on-one, they can do retreats, they can have an online program. Maybe they can write a book. But there's this whole world of offerings out there that we don't even see because we're only focused on, well, that's what so-and-so is doing. That's what Mrs. Big Name over there is doing, and that's what I have to do. And that's not true. We can create some really fun and unique experiences and events and offerings that, again, are really fun for us to deliver because they're right in our zone of how we like to create and how we like to show up and connect with people. And they're different. They're unique to us and how we want to serve. So in order to do that, we start by exploring all the possibilities. So looking out in the world, again, this is all across different industries. So don't stay in just your industry. If you're a health coach, look at life coaches and business coaches. Look at the tire shop down the road. Look at your favorite restaurant or cafe that you go to, cross industries, and make a big giant list of all the possible offerings that are out there and ways that people are delivering content. And then we go back through that big list and we circle all of the things that we think we might want to do. And once we've circled all of those things, we're going to go back through again and we're going to cross off anything that we circled because we thought we should. So if I'm a coach and I think that I should be doing retreats and workshops, but it doesn't actually feel like something that I want to be doing, I just think that I should be, I'm going to cross that off. If I think that I should write a book because that's what everyone says you need to do, and that was a dream when I was, 10 years old that I was going to write a book, and I held on to that, and I think that I need to be attached to it, I'm going to cross that off. So anything that's a think or should. We're going to go back through again, and we're going to look for the things that other people told us we should be doing. So this is another layer of think and should. So what am I doing because that's what my coach or mentor said, or that's what my mom would be really proud if I did. I'm going to cross those off. We're going to keep crossing off until all we have are the things that when we look at them, our body, again, going back to intuition, our body goes, yes, that feels really fun and aligned. We don't have to know the how or even the what in terms of content. So let's say that I go through it and I get really jazzed at the idea of hosting a webinar. I don't have to know what I'm going to teach on that webinar. I just have to be clear to start that, my body is a yes for teaching online over video. Or, writing a book feels really good. It feels really nurturing in my body. There's a lot of energy around that. So we're looking for the things on the list that we circled, that there's a lot of energy around. Cross everything else off. I know that that's going to be hard sometimes because it's easy to go up into our head and think, but that really works for everyone else. Everyone seems to make a lot of money by doing VIP days or whatever it is. If it doesn't light up your body, cross it off. Yes, you can go out there and you can create a VIP day, even though it doesn't feel super jazzy in your body, but you're not going to have the kind of traction and success that you want because it's not really what you want to be doing. So it's going to be hard to put all of your energy and your passion and your creativity into it. And I know from experience that it's not worth wasting time on offerings that aren't aligned because you're going to reach a point where you're burnt out, you're even resentful of your clients or your customers, and you're going to pull the plug on it anyways. So rather than wasting all that time and energy, let's pour all of that into the things that really excite us. So that's the first step. Get clear on what offerings out there feel really exciting to us. And then the next step, again, going outside of our industry. So for the second step, absolutely move outside of your industry for this. And look at your favorite businesses. They could be online stores. They could be, again, your local cafe. It could be the art supply store. It could be a catalog that you get in the mail. It could be a business that has passed a long time ago, but you still remember certain things. Make note of what that business is. Write down what the industry they're in is. And then write down what specifically about their business model or their offerings or their products or their services were just really interesting or exciting to you. So, for example, maybe I love my local tire shop. And what I love about it is the way that I am always greeted by somebody really friendly and smiley and happy that I'm there right in the parking lot, right when I get out of my car. They take me inside. They offer me coffee or tea. They have such a great selection. They sit me down in a comfortable chair. And someone comes over and they go out to my car with me and they really take their time to talk through everything with me. And, while I'm waiting, there's snacks or there's someone checking in, or it's just this great room where everyone's hanging out and there's free Wi-Fi. Make note of the specifics. And again, you might be thinking, a tire shop, what does that have to do with my health coaching business? A lot, actually. When you really hone into what about how they do business is really feeling aligned for me. So from that example, it's the customer experience. It's that high touch, high quality, and very nurturing and caring experience where they're thinking about how unfun it is to go get your tires changed, how you're spending money, you're taking time out of your day. It's inconvenient. It could be frustrating. And instead they're looking at how can we make this just really nurturing, really caring, really high touch, really taking our customer service to the next level. What are the little things we can sprinkle throughout the experience that makes it feel nurturing and makes it feel really loving and caring? Now, how can we make the experience of waiting while your tires are getting changed convenient, comfortable? And so those are things that you can extract and then pull into your offerings in your business. And you can get a lot of really creative ideas. So obviously, if I'm doing an online program, I can't necessarily meet you in your driveway the night before we get started. But maybe I could send a little care package in the mail to everyone. Maybe it's a personalized letter. What are the frustrating points of an online experience that I could really make more comfortable, make more fun, make more personalized, really bring my branding and my personality in? So there's a lot that we can pull across industries. And especially being a designer, a lot of times when I would be working on a branding project, it's instinct to go and look at what is everyone else doing? What's working in the marketplace? And again, that's all important information. So what's working? Who are my competitors? What are they doing? What are people responding to? But that gets us trapped in the box. So instead of just doing that, we step out and we look at other industries. So we look at the sportswear industry, we look at the tire shop, we look at coffee shops and what they're doing. We read trade publications from, other industries, and we start to pull inspiration and ideas from very random places. So it could be looking at magazines for just, maybe you're a woman and you're looking at men's fitness magazines. Maybe you're going and you're looking at what our website's doing in like the car sales industry. And you're not looking at the obvious. You're looking for, again, where you intuitively in your body respond, where you feel drawn, where you feel like, ooh, that's awesome, that's fun, I love that. And you're making note of what specifically about it you love, and then you're diving deeper into what can I take from what they're doing, how they've modeled their business, how they've structured their time, how they've structured their delivery, their offering, their customer service, their branding, their website experience. It can literally be any aspect of their business that you're drawn to, and you're pulling that out and you're putting it in the pile of pieces that you're going to put together to craft something really unique to you. So again, we're not getting caught up in what's working for everyone else. There's a lot of great information there. There's a lot of information about our market and how they respond. But to create something that's really fun and aligned for us, to really shake things up and do things differently to where you're drawing people in, because you're not just another copycat business. You're not just another coaching. You're not just another coach. You don't just have another program. It's not just another book. It's not just another whatever, live event. You're really pulling out aspects of experiences and ways of doing business and delivering that feel really fun and unique for you. And that's what people are going to appreciate. And we're going to hear later on from Skip Lackey, he talks a lot about how appreciation really builds a 5-star business. And that's so true. And what people appreciate is that uniqueness, that unique flavor, that way that you do things differently, that way that you tune into where are they at psychologically in each stage of your process, whether that's visitors to your website or they're actually going through the intake process or they're in your program. Where are they at? How are they feeling? And how can I make that experience better for them? So go ahead and to do these exercises, figure out what offerings feel really aligned for you and your body, and then go out there and look at different businesses. I encourage you to find at least 5 businesses that are not in your industry. 5 different ones if you can, so 5 different industries. And note what about their business, what about their website, any aspect of how they operate their business or how they do their customer service or how they brand themselves. Any aspect. What am I really drawn to specifically? And what can I extract from that to bring over into what I'm creating? So thank you so much for being here. I hope you enjoyed it, and I look forward to connecting with you in the next episode.